Greetings everyone, welcome back to the project workbench. Today what I'm working on is figuring out a way to adhere the boot that I've been working on to the sole. So the one I've been working on, the prototype, is made of vinyl. And I've got a couple different tests going on here. This one you see over here was using some BJB armor bond, which worked okay, I guess. It didn't adhere too well to the urethane, but there's a lot of reasons for that. This is actually a smooth-on product that probably wasn't chemically designed for armor bond, so I'm not too surprised that didn't work. So I went with some Classics barge and DAP cement. So over here we have the barge, and I've tried it on both sides, the right side and the wrong side of the fabric, and here we have the DAP. So I'm going to see how well that adheres, and the goal would be to take the boot that I've currently been prototyping in vinyl, and just in case I never get to the leather part, this will allow me to glue in the vinyl boot into the sole. Not real sure if that's how I'm going to go long term, but this is good experimentation either way, because no matter what the results are, it will be valuable information. And since I've got you here, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to document this sole. There hasn't really been any really high quality close-up pictures or videos of the sole anywhere on the internet up until now. So I thought I'd do that. So what you're looking at is a casting off a production-made sole. So this is a one generation out from production used. So all the details there, very few flaws. There's one little tiny break in the tip, but otherwise the detail it captured was pretty fantastic. Same thing, there's just details everywhere. There's a little patterning on pretty much every surface of the boot. Pretty wild. Honestly, I don't know how they got that texture. This is obviously a sculpted piece. This was made in clay. And I think what they did for those micro textures you see is there was some kind of, maybe a brass etched plate that they pressed into it, shaped to it. I think those little nubs are from Michaels. I think they're little jewels that were just pressed into the clay. You can see some places like that one right there in the center of the screen, where they pressed it in, it kind of smooshed out the clay from underneath it. So I'm entirely sure this was hand sculpted, but it's these textures that I just have no idea how they accomplished. It doesn't look like it was like hand scribed. Some of it's too precise for that, but then again, I'm not a sculptor, so maybe this is the type of thing you can achieve with the right sculpting tools. I just don't know. Still, it's pretty amazing the amount of work and detail that were put into these boots that were barely seen on screen. I still think it's cool. Now, Brandon Routh apparently has ginormous feet, because when I put my foot in here, there's like about 2 inches at the top that is empty. So I wear a size 11 and I'm 6'3". I gotta figure Brandon must be like a size 13 maybe? Don't know. So this has been one of my longest running projects. I just never seem to get around to finish it. There's so many technical hurdles on this project. There's been so many things I've had to learn how to do as I go. I'm still working on it. And you know, honestly, the fun has just been in the technical challenges. I like learning new stuff. I like learning how to do stuff. So even if I don't finish, I still learn cool stuff. And hey, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I now have an Instagram page up for this account. It's called The Project Workbench. So check it out. And I'm gonna move all of my project stuff, which I've been hitting a lot harder since I've been in quarantine, to there. So if this is the type of content that you like to see, if you like to see me making stuff, building stuff, and the different techniques that I use to accomplish my goals, hey, please subscribe to my channel and also hit up my Instagram. Oh, and before I end this video, let's do what we actually came here for and see how well these sections stick. So remember, this is the DAP here, this is the barge here. Let's see how well these stick. That's decent. I'm still able to peel it up pretty easily. Now, I don't know, if I've got my foot in there, obviously I'm not gonna be able to dig my finger under the corner. I would say that held okay, probably better than what we saw down here with the armor bond. Interestingly enough, the bond was lost on the vinyl, not on the boot. So the DAP stuck better to the urethane than it did to the vinyl. So that's interesting. So perhaps with any luck, this one will stick a little better. Yeah, a little harder to get my finger underneath that corner. Yeah, it definitely feels a little harder to pull up. So you can see that in this case, it's the bond with the urethane that's giving out. So that's interesting. So I think what I've learned here is that doing wrong side down gets me a better bond than right side down with the DAP. All right, so let's take a look at the barge. We've got the same thing here. And it feels a little stronger. So the bond totally gave out on the urethane. And this is wrong side down. So notice we got a much cleaner break than we saw on the DAP. So that's interesting. And sort of mixed results. So with the barge, same thing. The bond broke on the right side of the vinyl, but it almost equally gave out on the urethane. So that's interesting. I'm not really sure which one did better. I don't know which one I'd go with. Neither gave me the results I really wanted. But then, like I said, if it was actually a boot on my foot, I wouldn't be able to stick my finger in and pick it up from the edge. So maybe what the next step would be is actually to try a boot. Make a boot, stick it in, walk around on it, and see what broke. So that's interesting. I would cite that as mixed but disappointing results. But I'll keep at it. By the way, if you have any suggestions for me, if you know of any adhesives that might work well with urethane and vinyl or leather, this is a pleather, I guess you'd call it. If you know of any good adhesives that I might try, please comment below. That would be really helpful. If there's anyone out there with expertise in this that might be able to help.